Tonight we are heading up to Newcastle upon Tyne as we look at the classic coming-of-age teen drama, Byker Grove. The CBBC show that kick-started the careers of Jill Halfpenny, Donna Eyre, and of course Ant and Dec. The show was aimed at older teenagers and it tackled some serious storylines over the years. The show lasted for a whopping 18 series and 344 episodes and aired from 1989. The series was set in a youth club and followed many characters throughout the show's lifetime. So now that we have the background, let's take a look at a couple of episodes. First up we have Season 1 Episode 1. So on a Saturday in some mall, we see everyone walk about as someone says it is the biggest shopping center in Europe. As the father and daughter aren't happy with each other, they go up to some clothes as dad asks if the daughter wants to try it on. Daughter isn't happy as dad goes into the shop. Julie heads in as we then see some other kids as they look at the same clothes. They say it is amazing as they say they will get their dad to buy it. So we see some boys up high as they are watching some bikes go around in circles. Dad is still trying to talk to Julie as he explains they had to move to Newcastle as Julie then spots the bikes. The police clear them off as the boys watch on as well. Julie goes back to the car as dad talks about Byker Grove. Julie gets into the car as the boys walk into the girls as they take the mick out of the girls. They flirt as the girls then head home after talking about going to the cinema later in the week. The girls rush to catch the train as they get on board as they talk about the cute Andrew boy as they call him Casanova. They head home as they see their gran as they head into a shop as they ask if Raj is coming to the Grove later as he says yes. They head off as gran shouts at the kids. So we see Julie get out of the car as she storms into the house. Dad is not happy as we then see some boy and his dog as we then see the Grove as everyone is playing. The boys talk to Cass about the dog as the other kid tries to sell something. The girls arrive as they flirt with Cass. They head inside the Grove as Jeff is on the phone saying he needs money for the Grove. The girls meet some other girl as they get dressed. They then head out as they then need some more money as they say they don't have enough money for the camping trip as they explain Jeff is trying to get money. The girl suggests they can put on a concert as they agree it is a good idea. They try to rope the boys in as they disagree with them. So dad is still trying to get Julie to go to the Grove as she doesn't want to go. She gets mad with her parents as the other two girls are out on a walk. They see the bikers as they head into a pub. They head upstairs as dad is running late for a meeting. The girls walk into the bedroom as they do what teenage girls do. They start to get dressed as they keep talking about the cute boy. So Julie is upset as she is crying away. We then get to Monday as we see a girl ask if Raj is coming to the Grove tonight. He says he can as they greet Spud. So they paint away as inside we see everyone playing away. Spud wants a job from Winston as he says he doesn't have any jobs. Spud then takes something as Winston is annoyed as Spud wants some money. Winston gives her a job as the other kid is annoyed. He goes for a smoke as Jeff comes in. He is annoyed with the kid for smoking in the Grove as the other kids are playing some more table tennis. The kid gets annoyed as he storms off as Winston joins him. The kid says he is finished with the Grove as he says he is 15 and is an adult. So Julie finally arrives to the Grove as everyone is confused. She walks into the Grove as they ask where Julie is from. She says Wimbledon as they talk about tennis. Julie is annoyed as she walks into the Grove. The boys still try to be friends with Julie as she explains that her father changed job and that's why she moved. The boy introduces himself as Gil as they greet Julie. They show Julie inside as Cass is doing some workouts. He is confused on why Julie has entered as Gil explains everything. Cass flirts with Julie as Gil tries to show off. They head inside as everyone looks at Julie. The other girl is confused because it is the jacket she wanted as we then see the boys and Julie as the other girls are looking at Julie. Allison then meets Julie as she explains she runs the Grove with Jeff. Allison explains the Grove is not just a youth club as she explains everything to Julie. Jeff gets into an argument with Gil as Allison gets the girls to meet Julie as she explains they have a camping trip in a couple of weeks. Julie says camping is boring as Allison says she is in for a few surprises as Spud talks about how Donna wanted the jacket. Donna asks what Julie's father does as she explains. Donna explains she lives in a pub as Julie and Donna get into a row. The other girl says they should just be friends as the boys get annoyed as they walk out. Julie asks if Gil has a first name as we then see Gran as she delivers some food to the Grove. They are confused on why she is here as she says she wants to help as she heads into the kitchen. Gran looks around the place as the granddaughter is embarrassed she is here. They mock her as Allison says they're going to do something with musicals as Donna says she can get instruments from one of her dad's girlfriends. It's all very confusing as Julie is also confused as she asks the other girl. Spud is checking herself out as she takes out the tennis balls. Julie heads off as the boys try to take her home. Julie says no as the other girl says to ignore Gil as Julie gets a little racist. Gil storms out with Winston as Gran is walking around in the garden. She sees Spud as she is upset. Grandma asks what is up as Spud explains the girls have great trainers. Gran says you don't have to be trendy as she says Donna is a spoiled brat. Spud says they're going on the camping trip without them as Grandma hugs her. Julie walks in as Nicole tells her to say sorry to the other kid. She says she can't because Dad is coming to pick her up as Allison asks if she is coming back. Julie doesn't know as she walks out. They say Julie is racist as the other kid and Raj are walking home. They talk about Julie as Raj tells Haley good luck for the job interview as she jumps into the air. So Gil and Winston are back as they see the bikes. Gil is annoyed as Jeff and Allison are in the office doing work as they hear something. They see Spud playing with a ball as they ask what she is still doing here as she then storms off. Allison asks why she is always the last one to go home as we then see the boys on the bikes. Julie is going home as she then spots the boys as she gets her mom to watch them. The boys show off as they then crash as the episode ends on that note. Next up we have Season 1 Episode 2. So it is Tuesday as we are in the city. Gil is being attacked by some men as they tell him not to touch his bike again as Gil is scared. We then see Spud in the gardens as some old guy is confused on why she is there. He tells her the way as she sees the amount of weed she has to clean up. So we see Gil on the swings as Jeff comes out as he asks what Gil is doing here as Gil gets angry with Jeff. He storms into the grove as he sees Gil limping. He asks what Gil is doing bunking off school as we then see Spud as she is pulling out all the weeds. So we see Donna's dad as he is cleaning up his pub. Donna says she needs to go to the grove as Dad says she must have homework to do as Donna says she can walk herself to the grove as Nicole arrives. Donna gets annoyed with her dad as they walk into the pub as Nicole is annoyed that her gran is working at the grove. So we see Spud get annoyed with the weeds as her brother arrives and she gets annoyed with him, but they talk it out and then go off together. So we see Jeff as he gets some letters. We then see Julie as she is heading off to Byker Grove. She is annoyed with her mom as they drive off. We then see Gran talking to Spud as she explains she is going to the cinema tonight but needs some money as Gran gives her some money. Gil is heading around as he is looking for Winston. Spud wants to know where Winston is as well as she needs money off him as Gil then shouts. Spud asks Allison why Gil is mad as she then goes over to Cass as they talk about James Bond. They play the board game as Spud butts in and gets the right answer. Jeff asks what is up with Spud's hands as Cass shouts at Spud again. So we then see Julie get out of the car as she is annoyed with her mom. Mom tells Julie it isn't easy for either of them as Julie walks off. Cass is still playing the game as the other kid has had enough. Spud wants to play table tennis with them as they say no. They want to know where Winston is as Julie arrives as the other kid says he is adopted as Julie wants to know where Haley is as Spud says she is out for a job. Julie then asks about Spud's hands as Donna and Nicole then walk in. They argue again as they ask about Winston again. Spud says Nicole's gran is here as she rushes to stop her. So we see some boys play some ball as Nicole is annoyed with Jeff for hiring her gran as the other kid goes off on his bike. Cass wants to know where he is going as Spud wants to play ball as the boys say no. Someone's dad arrives as Spud runs off. Allison reads the post as she is confused on the parcel. The dad walks in as she asks about Allison. Gran is cleaning up as Nicole is not happy with her. Gran insults Nicole's makeup as Haley then arrives. She says she did get the job as Julie then comes in as she wants to say sorry. Haley doesn't care as she walks off. So Spud tells Donna her dad is here as Donna rushes into the office. It's all go as Dad is explaining everything to Jeff and Allison as Dad says it could be kids from the Grove. He says he will call the cops if he catches the kids again. Dad walks out as Donna gets mad at him for turning up. Dad walks off as Gil is walking around town. He turns up at a house as we then see Speedy and Winston as Gil turns up. He asks if Winston is okay as Gil is annoyed with Speedy. So Julie says sorry to Haley as Donna comes back in. Nicole asks what is up with Donna as she explains what happened at her dad's pub and how he thinks it could be kids from the Grove. Nicole explains that her mom sometimes lets her be an adult depending on the situation. Cass says she could never bring a girl home as Cass talks about his previous girlfriend. So Spud is playing with a basketball as her brother arrives. She gets annoyed at him as he walks into the grove. Jeff wants a word with him as Spud wants to butt in. She then goes to talk to Allison as the brother opens the parcel and gets a watch. It is from a computer magazine as Jeff is confused on why he put the grove's address on the form. The brother doesn't wear the watch as the brother tells Jeff not to tell anyone as Spud is talking to Allison about starting periods. Allison explains puberty as Spud runs off as she hates being herself. So Nicole says Julie is okay as Cass and Donna then kiss for some reason. Julie is still talking to Haley as she says her mom is ill. Winston arrives as he wants money from Cass as Winston explains he fell out of a tree. They ask what he was doing up a tree as Haley then bumps into Gil. He talks to Julie as she asks about the bikes. Spud gets mad at Winston as she needs the money for the cinema tonight. She takes the money as Jeff then asks what Winston is doing as he then asks why Gil is limping. He says he knows what the boys have been up to as he tells them off for joy riding. Everyone else is shocked as Jeff is mad. So Gran is still cooking as the brother is looking at the watch. He tells Gran not to tell anyone as the brother says everyone will take the mickey out of him as Gran says he is very clever as she gives him some food. The girls are talking about Gil as Spud then arrives in a mess as Donna says they aren't going to the cinema tonight as everyone laughs at Spud. So Speedy grabs his bike as Gil comes out. He shouts at everyone as he starts a fight with Speedy. Spud snitches on them as everyone comes out and watches the tussle. Jeff explains how he figured out Gil hurt himself as he gets everyone in. Jeff tells them to stop as they shout some more. Donna asks Cass if they're going for chips as he says yes and asks if Julie is coming as she says no. They go off as Gil then asks if he will see Julie tomorrow as they then kiss for some reason. Mom can't believe it as she orders Julie to get back into the car. Gil walks off as the episode then ends on that note. Finally we have skipped forward a bit to look at season 15 episode 8. So we see someone knock on the door as some lady comes out. She says he should be at work as he wants to talk to his friends as some other boys come out. They say they have to go down the grove as they have to play football as we then see some girl as she gets picked up by her dad. She says she rather take the bus as she doesn't want to get embarrassed by her father as she has a boyfriend who is the captain of the football team. Dad forces her in as they drive to the grove, so we see some other girls drinking as they say they have a meeting soon as they say Adam won't ruin their fun as they then come up with a plan. The boy comes over as the girls say that Sarah really fancies him as the boy can't believe it. They tell him where to meet her as it is a prank. The girls laugh as the other girl arrives to the grove. The boy gives the girl a hat as the girl is annoyed at him, so we see the other people have some tea and biscuits as they talk about Craig. So we see the coach as the girls arrive. They have a meeting about the upcoming tournament as we then see some other boy as he is doing his music or something. Some girl comes in as she talks about a record deal. The boy says they haven't finished the demo as he says it could be a scam. So the other boy is saying everything is over as he is sad about something. The lady says he is worrying for nothing as the boy says he is suspended. So we see some boys skate around as the coach comes over and says no skating without gear. The boy then talks to the coach about upgrading the skate park as the coach asks why. He then says he can't do that as we then see the girls read as they talk about their dad and about what happened last night when they broke a vase. They talk about the dad's divorce as the girl doesn't want to talk about it. So we see the boys as they talk about his date as they then smell something. They say he stinks as someone watches on. So they look through the post as the coach comes in and asks what his daughter is doing. They talk about the dad's drinking problem as the girl is worried for her dad. So the boy waits for his date as someone then comes over. The boy rushes into the grove as he hides from the girls. The girls talk about the boy band blue as the person comes in. The girls smell something as the boy then comes out and asks about his date. They keep lying to him as we then see the skaters as they are talking about leaving the park. They pick on one kid as they head to the metro station. They call him Chicken as we then see some people wash their car. They talk about Craig again as the man offers to get Ben something to eat, but Ben has a date. He says we all make mistakes as we are only human. Ben heads off as the girl is listening to some music. The other boy starts an argument about the record deal with the girl as some other boys are talking about the date as he then asks about the secret den. They make jokes about the boy and his new girlfriend as the dad is happy his daughter has cleaned up his desk. The dad then talks about going back to the gym as the daughter then jokes she can have a party when he is out. So some girl is listening to music as the girls come over and tell her to look for the boy as they are trying to put the two of them together. So some boys are playing with a football as the boy is talking about his girlfriend as no one can believe it. They then talk about the party and how they can have it next week as the girl then arrives. The boy walks over as they go off together as he then tries to kiss her but she slaps him, so Ben arrives at the Grove as he wants to see someone. The girl talks about her record deal once more as they ask why Ben isn't working. They have a chat as some bad boy goes around throwing stones. The boy is embarrassed for his mistake as they then spot someone, so Ben is talking about Craig as the gang try to figure out a plan. The mystery character spots the den as they walk over. They capture the girl as we then see the skaters walk along the train station. The other kid looks concerned as we then see the girl fix the secret den. They ask why the girl has turned up to the Grove as she says her friend comes to the Grove, but they have to keep it a secret as the boy is confused. She says the boy can help her with something as the old lady comes over to find Ben as she says she has good news. Ben is confused as the lady talks about stolen CDs. Everyone is proud of Ben as Tina wants Ben back in tomorrow as they say Craig is out of the Grove. The boy is saying he has a stalker as they then make a noise. They walk into each other as they can't believe Lucy is here. So the others go for a drink as the lady doesn't invite everyone. The other lot are talking about drowning in a pool as Stuart then pushes Lucy into the water. So Ben and the girl go off as Craig then watches them. The skaters are picking on the other kid as they get into an argument. So Ben's dad is happy as he explains he is going for a drink. Dad then says he needs some things as he gives them a list. Craig watches on as the skaters are talking about how Bill is a big baby and the other skaters talk among themselves. So Craig watches Ben's dad as he then gets into the car. He drives off as the skaters are messing around on the train station. Dad comes back as he is confused on where the car is as a train then comes down the track. Ben and the girl walk around as Craig tries to run them down. The skaters are bored as they want to go home as Craig then tries to run them down as one of the kids then falls on the train track. The train stops quickly as Ben tries to stop Craig. It's all go as the dad then arrives as Craig then knocks over Ben as the other kid is trapped on the tracks. Everyone is concerned for Ben as the episode then ends on that note. Overall there is just one word to describe Byker Grove and it is drama. The show was filled with drama from the very start and even though we just watched 3 episodes today out of the massive 344 episodes that were produced in total. You could tell this show was filled with twists and turns at every point and it was certainly a groundbreaker as it led on many important issues and had some serious storylines. The characters were all cool and unique and overall it is a must-watch because this was a children's classic and it was a shame it was cancelled in 2006, but there were reports of a new series in development in 2023, so we will see if that brings anything in the future. So in conclusion you have to watch Byker Grove if you love long-running drama-filled shows. So thank you for watching. If you have any TV shows you like to see me do, put them in the comments.